This video is for entertainment purposes and is no means necessary to create hate for anyone in this video. And also is under the fair use law. Look that shit up yourself. Also, we're going to do some dumbass shit about Hinduism, so take it with a large grain of salt about the size of Earth. We will do a Razor Mouse giveaway at 10k views or 100 subs. More information in the darkness below, aka my ass. Might have to dig deep. Yo, what up guys, I'm here with my friend Regiey. Me and him are going to be reacting to some stupid Christian or ex-atheist, something like that. You know the drill. Whatever, YouTuber does before feminism, reaction videos to the good shit called Christianity and the Holy Not Bible. Also, I really hope this does not fucking record the fucking sound and shit. I'm going to turn off the playback volume just because. Okay, I hope I can actually hear this shit.
I was born and raised and educated in Canada, and I did not meet Christians until I was 27 years old. But I was...
Wow, you can wait your own ass. What the fuck are you, a toddler?
I wasn't really talking until I was 5 years of age, but as soon as I could talk, I was asking questions. In particular, questions about the universe.
Fucking course!
And I remember when I was 7 years of age, asking my parents the question, are the stars hot? And they assured me that the stars were very hot. But of course I wanted to know why they were so hot.
I really hope none of this shows up in the video.
And that's what I did, and I read every book I could find on astronomy and physics in the children's section.
I hate the fucking echo. I had to restart this twice.
And when I had done that and read all the books that were there, they gave me a pass to the adult section. Eventually I wound up getting a pass to the university library. And it was at the age of 8 that I knew that my future career would lie in astrophysics. And from the age of 8 onwards, that was kind of the passion of my life, pursuing astrophysics.
By
the time I was in my teenage years, I was beginning a study on what's called cosmology, the origin and structure of the universe. And at that time in the 1960s, there was all these debates about is the universe steady state? Is it oscillating or reincarnating like the Hindus and Buddhists would claim that it is? Or is it a big bang? And there are other descriptions too. But as I went into that study, it became clear to me that the astronomical observations were heavily favoring the Big Bang explanation and disproving the other explanations. And Big Bang cosmology really arose out of Einstein's theory of general relativity, which tells us that the universe is continuously expanding.
Or not, the energy could just expand.
Reasoning along the same lines as Albert Einstein, I figured if the universe indeed has a beginning, there must be a beginner. And I came to that conclusion at age 16, and from this 16 onwards, I never doubted the existence of God. So that part was taken care of. And I had the good fortune of going to a high school where we had people from all different cultures and religions.
I talk to Hindus.
When I began to talk to people about how I discovered that this beginner or God exists, I got exposed to a lot of different
and then called it BS. Oh, yeah, guys, hey dude, we have something in common.
Do a study of the different religions of the world to see if any of them could possibly be a communication from this cosmic beginner.
Like creating a new hole for you?
You should always begin with the easy problems first and leave the most difficult.
Should really solve that.
So on purpose, actually I began with the philosophers. I knew that Immanuel Kant, the great German philosopher, was also the father of modern cosmology. So I looked at what he had to write, looked at Descartes and a number of other philosophers, and what I recognized is they thought of space and time as being absolutes that eternally existed. And I knew that Big Bang cosmology disproved that, so I said, no, these guys really aren't the right way.
It's okay guys, we're in Canada right now.
And the Hindus speak about the reincarnating universe, which was a popular idea in the 1960s amongst astronomers. that the universe has multiple
Fuck
beginnings
you,
rather than
Hinduism.
just one beginning, where we grow from this beginning and then shrink and then there'd be this rebirth. But the Hindus and their Vedas claim that the period of time between the two beginnings would be exactly
You know what would be hilarious
4.32
video to
billion years.
react to?
And
That video I
even
showed
back
you.
in the 1960s, we knew that number was
You know.
definitely wrong. The universe was older than 4.32 billion years. And we also
Isn't it
were able to
hilarious?
demonstrate
You couldn't put
that the
that on
universe
YouTube.
was so
Interesting.
entropic, in other words, so
Real life?
efficient in radiating heat from hot
would.
bodies to cold bodies,
People have
it would
two
allow
girls,
no
one cup.
possibility
On YouTube.
for any
Yeah.
kind of rebound
And
or
the one
bounce
man in one
mechanism.
jar video.
So at age 17, I recognized that the truth
It was
of the
hilarious,
universe
though.
did not come through
What about the
Hinduism.
screwdriver?
And therefore,
Yeah.
Hinduism's
That's on
message
YouTube?
could not be
Yeah,
compatible
show me that.
with the one
On
that
YouTube.
began the universe or created the universe. Now, in the public high school I attended, the dominant religion outside of Asia,
Buddhism
and
is
Gnosticism,
basically
was
the
Buddhism,
fucking
are
same.
80% Asians.
To
And they told me I needed to look at what the Buddhists had to say, so I did that.
They have
But I
the same
discovered
god,
that the Buddhists
basically.
borrow everything
Except
that
the
they
blue
teach
six-titted
about
arm
cosmology, the origin and structure
Shit.
of the universe, directly from the Hindus.
Which Avatar, Chris? The anime or the
Not
movie?
in Buddhism either. Then I
where
picked
they're all
up the
fucking
Quran.
bullet point
When I began to go through the Quran, I noticed
We're not killing
kind of a
people with
common
air.
denominator here. That the Quran,
Copyright,
the
Chris. It's not
Buddhist
50 years
writings
old.
and the
Sing
Hindu
it.
writings I was being exposed to
Doesn't care.
were
It
highly
counts.
repetitious. They
You're
kept
gonna
repeating
have to
themselves.
clear out my
And the language was vague, and I guess what concerned me most of all, there was this appeal to intellectual snobbery.
Okay, let
If
them
you're
hear
one
the
of the
video.
great enlightened ones, you'll be able to understand the meaning of this text.
Shit.
Otherwise, you're out of luck. And I said,
Like
that's
my
not what I
ejaculation.
see in the record of nature. When I look out at the universe, I see a revelation there that is clear and direct and ready
Why
and
do you like
open for
reading so many
investigation and
books?
testing. And that bothered me
Okay,
that when
so
I went
just
into these other
before
holy
we
books,
finish
I
this
didn't see
fucking
that
rest
direct
of the,
communication
Give you a while.
or that invitation
35
to
more
put
minutes.
to the test.
In 6
Now, there was
seconds.
one fellow in our high school
Yeah, I
classroom
found a
who was
41-minute
Baha'i
video.
faith.
I regret
And
my
he told me
decision.
is that in Baha'i, what they do is that they take the pearls
probably-
of truth from the world's great
Red
religions
axle
and put them together into a consistent package.
We're
So
gonna
it was great.
react
Show
to
me
the
what you
entire
got. And as I spent a few days looking at the Baha'i teachings, I went back to my friend and said, well, from what I
Watching me
can
play
tell,
Skyrim,
what the
watching me
Baha'i
record
has done is to
Skyrim.
borrow the great mistakes in the world's religions and to put them
Or watching
together
me play
into a
Skyrim.
consistent package.
Fancy club.
And he wound up leading the Baha'i faith.
Anyway, guys, so he just said that no other Bible.
That I didn't meet Christians until
He just
I
said that
was
no other
16 years
Bible
of age.
tests
What I
you.
meant by that
Well,
is
if
to
I
get close
didn't
enough to
remember
a
to, I'll
Christian
put a
where I could have
PDF of the
conversation
Tegric
in some
Bible,
spiritual
and you
manner.
guys
That
go
did
tell
not
me
happen
it's
until
the
I was
5th
57.
Testament, that's 17th
In
century.
Canada, there just aren't as many
That's
Christians
kind
as
of,
there are
before all the
here in
cool
United
shit
States.
happened, like World War
They're
II,
colored meat.
Hitler, killing Jews,
However,
hating
I did get
Hindu.
to see two Christians from 30 feet away when I was 11 years old.
He made
And these
two
were two
twins into a
businessmen that
giant
came into our
fucking
public
creepy
school
baby.
classroom and put a box
Anything
on the
else?
teacher's desk.
And
And
made
in
me.
that box were Gideon Bibles. And we're all invited to come forward and take one if we wanted one.
Didn't have
And
any
I still
gaps or
carry around with
pacifists.
me that Gideon Bible.
They had
I got
money
when I was
and
11
insurance.
years of age. Now,
Yeah, that's
I
where the
didn't
first
read it
redneck
until I
was
was
invented.
17. It stayed untouched on a bookshelf for 6 years. And in hindsight,
Usually
I'm
with
rather
the
glad
woods
that I
and
did not
Jews
pick it
have
up
very
until I
long
was
beards.
17. Because those
Fucking
Gideons
pilgrims.
gave me what we would call a foreign language edition of the Bibles, King
Okay, he
James
says
English.
another Bible test you,
And
or
at age
holy
11,
book, I
I
should
think I
say.
would have been quite
Check
intimidated.
Rick.
But one of the
I
benefits
do
of a
know that the
Canadian
Hindu
public
Bible, or the
education
most I read,
is starting
does.
in grade 7,
Now, I'm not gonna lie,
they
I know
saturate
Judaism
you
and
with the plays
Christianity
of
is
William
basically the
Shakespeare.
same,
And I
except
had to
Christianity
memorize
has
literally
heaven,
over 1,000
and Jews are
lines
more
of the
loyal to
plays of
God.
William Shakespeare.
Also
So by
have a
the
lot
time
more
I was
money.
17, I was fluent in King James English.
Ah,
I
I
began to go
think
through this book.
no, I think he already
I
passed.
noticed
If he did already
how
say that
different
there's
it
not a
was
lot of
from
Christians,
all the other holy books
There's
that
a lot.
undergird the religions of the world.
Yeah,
Namely,
about 90.
that it was
We-
clear,
we did
it
put
was
a
direct,
picture.
and it was specific.
Seriously, just
Unlike these
boom.
other holy books,
Right
that
there,
you see
right
a lot of
now.
repetition
Link
or
in the
vagueness.
description if you
It
actually want to see
mentions
it,
places,
just so you don't think that I just
points
made
of
that up
history
out of
and
my
science
head.
and geography, things
just
that
shit it
you
out of my
couldn't put
ass.
to the test. And I think what encouraged me as a young scientist as I began to go through this book,
Or if you
I
guys just
found
trust me,
repeated
trust me.
invitations
That would be
put
nice.
this to the test.
But go ahead, check the
For
links.
example, we have in the writings of the Apostle Paul, in 1 Thessalonians 5:21,
If I spend the $5
everything must be tested.
or the
Hold fast to
$1,000
that.
to get like 11K.
You don't have 5,000. You can get like 200.
Shut the fuck up.
You would get like a couple hundred.
Anyways, so he literally stated that there's not a lot of Christians. From 1971, it was
1990, 71. What the
I
hell?
don't know. 71, yeah, I'm gonna keep that. 1997. 1990, 71. 71. 71.
1990, 71.
Anyways, in the 1970s, it was stated that 1970 and now that there was about 90% of Christians in Canada. In America,
We use that shit. We use Google, man.
yeah, man.
We like scientists now. I mean, that's what I was saying.
Everyone on, I think I even went on a Canadian government site. Don't quote me. It had a secure button. That means it has to be legit. Also went on Google Scholars, so fuck you. Anyways, also there's only like what, fucking like, it was like 8% of atheists in Canada at the time, but now it's like 24%. I'm like, damn, Armored Skeptic, you and your shoeing head. Yeah, man. Really need to add sound effects next time.
No, you're doing it wrong. You fucking idiot. Like, you do.
I didn't give him it. Oh yeah, that was some good shit. No, I'll just take a hit, bro.
Straight up.
We have some, we have some, blunts. Fuck, I can't pronounce shit. Blunts. No, I have a speech impediment. Okay, anyways, guys, before this gets way too long and I have to edit all this shit, let's continue.
Fit for life. The water covers the whole surface of the planet, and it's dark upon the surface of the waters. So those are the 4 initial conditions. And then you go
Plagiarize.
through the 6 creation days. Now,
Whoops,
as you go through those 6 creation days, the 3rd step of the scientific method that we teach our students, do not try to interpret when you do your
Wow,
experiment
what an
or
asshole.
make your observations, or in this case, read the biblical text. Simply note
Wow,
what
you're an
happens,
ass. You
where
made
it
someone
happens,
leave his
when,
faith?
the
What a
order,
fucking asshole.
and then you write that down in a
Fucking
notebook. When you're all
cuntbag.
done, well, you want to note the
I
final
don't even deserve a
conditions.
fucking
And
video.
having noted those final conditions, now and only now are you
Fuck
free
this shit.
to make
I'm
an
just gonna let Armored
interpretation.
Skeptic have this shit.
But it's an interpretation you make lightly.
Wait, never mind. He
And
only
then you
does
want to
feminist
test
videos
that
now. Show
interpretation
him.
with other observations and experiments. And this is one of the beautiful things I found about the Bible is
Oh no, I'm
it's
gonna react to
loaded
the
with many
dumbest fucking
creation
animes
accounts.
ever.
And what you find in the other holy books might be one creation account or 2,
Yeah.
but in the Bible we have 25
Yeah.
different
It's not
accounts of creation. Now, having done that, kind of looked at that
You-
scientific method outline. By the way, the Bible follows that pattern every time it describes a sequence of physical events. And it wasn't until I was 27 years of age and began to read the writings of the Scottish theologian Thomas Torrance and the 28-volume set the Scottish Academic Press
They're
put
not
out
allowed to
on the
communicate
science and the
with
Christian
anybody.
faith,
And I walked up
that I
there and I was
discovered
like,
that
hey,
the scientific
I
method
talked
really came directly
knew
from the
to keep
Bible.
off
That was the birth of the scientific revolution. It's no accident that the scientific revolution came out of the Reformation and Western Europe. It was Bible scholars reading the Bible,
Sorry, I just wanted to
discovering
make sure
this
we didn't
method,
miss anything.
and applying
Yeah,
it
do
to their
that.
scientific
Yeah, I had the
research,
same thing,
and that was the
except
birth
it
of the
was
scientific
that my
revolution.
band rehearsal.
And this one straight from the pages of the Bible.
I grabbed
Following this
one, but it
biblical
was
method.
like
So the Bible
an
tells us
ancient
everything must be put to the test,
Judas,
but it
I
also
don't
tells
know
you
what the fuck
how
the
to
words
put
was
it to the
called.
test.
Ancient Jew
And you do
language.
that, this
It was
is the
like
order
Well,
of
I'm going to
events
use this to
you get
learn
from
Judaism.
Genesis chapter 1.
I'm going to use the Bible.
Genesis 1:1, in the beginning God created
like,
the heavens
How
and the earth.
flammable is
The
this?
word in the Hebrew for heavens and earth is
Except,
Shemayan
you know,
Eres,
fucking Japan,
which means the
fucking
entire
laws against
physical universe.
Weed.
The Hebrew word for earth
Fucking
has
5 years
5
in
different
prison
literal
with hard labor
definitions.
bullshit.
The Hebrew word for heaven has
Good
3
thing I'm in
different
Canada
literal
right
definitions.
now.
But the word Shemayan
My
Eres is
friend
kind of like our
Regiey.
English word
Let's
butterfly.
go to Roger.
Butterfly's got nothing to do with butter or fly. It
He
means
sucks,
something
that's why it's
very
called
different.
Regiey.
Likewise, heavens plural attached to earth singular
$20.
means something different. It means the
Maybe
entire
you like
physical
an ounce.
universe, encompassing all matter, energy, space, and time. In the beginning, God created. The verb there, bara, means to create something brand new that never existed before. Entirely
God, man,
compatible
you
with the
better
Big
be
Bang
like-
singularity, which tells us that there's an actual beginning of matter, energy, space, and time. Genesis 1 starts off with that claim.
Wait,
Now,
weren't
this
you
is
at like
important
17? Where the
because when you
fuck
look
did
at
you
the
get to
other holy
like
books and
14?
religions of the world,
really
they
skip
speak
something.
about God or God's
Guys, we're gonna
creating
go skip a
within
bunch of
space
shit,
and time
so-
that God imbues these creatures
remember,
with
like, what,
mind, will, and emotions
20
so they can
minutes.
relate to one another, but also relate to the future human beings. And then in Creation Day 6, it talks about a God creates 3 specialized kinds of
What
land
the
mammals.
fuck are you
Creation
talking
Day
about?
5 talks about
Soulish
birds and sea
light? What the
mammals
fuck?
generically.
I didn't know
Creation Day
fucking
6
light had a
does
soul.
not talk about land mammals generically, but rather focuses on
Shit,
3
what?
specialized kinds of land mammals,
David,
those
now
that
here
God
with my dick out
specifically
or some soul's
created
gonna be
to
touching it.
cohabit the planet with humanity.
said ghost
Then
dick in his
last of
house.
all, it talks about God
Close your
creating
eyes.
the human species, male and female. And it uses
said we don't
a
suck
sa
ghost dick.
bara, just like with the soulish creatures. When God created the soulish creatures, there's something about it that he manufactured supernaturally, but there's something in them that's
like
totally brand
A
new.
3D.
What was
square
manufactured
Why the fuck
would have
is it
been
like
the,
someone
the
zoomed in,
physical
zoomed out, and
component
forgot
was
to
brand
fucking
new,
make it
would
a
be
smart
spirit.
object?
Well, likewise with humanity, we are supernaturally manufactured by God from the dust of the earth, from what previously existed, but there's something in there that's brand new. We're the only species that God created, according to Genesis 1, as body, soul, and spirit. And and that gives us the capacity to communicate
do it
with
after
God
this video.
himself, the only species that's given that capacity to ask questions like, who am I?
Yeah, I don't
who
have enough
created me?
liquid to do
Why am
that.
I here? How can I
can
have
make
a
it sound like
relationship
if you
with
do
my
it correctly.
Creator? That's the spirit component that's within us. Now, as a young man of 17, it kind of took me about 4 hours to figure all that out. I was kind of going through all my textbooks and checking it out, but what I discovered was this.
Nah, you got
That
it.
here was an account of creation. The first account of creation I'd read in any of the holy books that actually fit what the record of nature revealed. When I was 9 years old, I read a book on creation myths, and it talked about over 100 different creation stories in different cultures of the world. Well, they were good for a laugh, but what they were talking about was just absurd in terms of what the record of nature revealed to us. But the one that came the closest to what the actual record of nature was revealing was the Enuma Elish of the Babylonians. And that's an account of creation that mentions 14 creation events, and it gets 2 out of 14 right. 12 wrong, 2 right. But when I picked up this Bible, what I found was an account of 13 creation events. All
Sorry, I
13
call him
were
Chris
correctly
every time.
described, and all
Name is
13
Regiey,
were in
gave him
the
the
correct
nickname of Chris
chronological
because
sequence.
Fucking Chris is a
Now, the
lame man.
probability of Moses
offense,
getting
Regiey.
it in the correct order, even if he was given the correct information, that probability would be 1 chance in 13
No, just
factorial.
give me the
That's
letter.
1 chance in 13 times
Do something
12
funny.
times 11 times 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can figure that out while you're listening to me. It's a very small probability. But an even tinier probability is that Moses actually got all 13 events correctly described in a correct chronological sequence. So at age 17, that was my first clue that this book may be different from the other holy books in that it could actually be a communication from the being that created the universe. How else could Moses have possibly gotten it that accurate if he didn't have some inspired information from the creator of the universe himself?
Oh,
but I
did you
kept
mod
on
this?
going.
Did you mod
And what
it?
I discovered
No.
as I kept moving is that there are many creation accounts in the Bible. In fact, there are 25 chapter-length or longer creation accounts in the Bible. Now, what I found in the other holy books at best was just one or two creation accounts.
And it's gonna make this
Here I
pop up.
found 25. So here is an
hard to do.
opportunity for me to put to the test my
Job 9, job
interpretation
30.
of Genesis
What the fuck
1.
is all
I was
this?
very curious. Does the rest of
Romans?
the Bible support this? And so I began to go through these texts and
Wow.
actually try to put my
Way
interpretation
to make the Jews
in
look
text.
bad.
Let me just give you a couple of examples of how that worked out for me as a young man. Job 38 and 39, for example, take you through all the events of the 6 creation days. They're not numbered like they are in Genesis chapter 1, but it literally describes all the events and actually gives us more scientific detail about the events of the 6 creation days than you find in Genesis chapter
Sorry,
1.
I can't get enough of saying
But
that.
for example,
Feels good.
in Job 38, verses 8 and 9, we have God saying to Job, I made the
Okay,
clouds
guys, so
its
if you guys
garment
want a part
and
2,
wrapped it in
comment
thick
down below,
darkness.
because
It's
we're
referring to
fucking
the
down with this
oceans that
asshole.
encompass the earth.
It's
So
fucking,
it's telling us
he's
here in
pretty
Job
fucking
38
dumbass.
that the
Dumbass.
reason why it was
Fuck,
dark
I
on
don't
the
speak
surface
English.
of the waters
Anyways,
of
if you
the
guys really
early
want a
planet
part 2,
Earth
comment down
is
below.
'cause God had
Like and
wrapped
share this
the
on
planet
Twitter,
in this
Facebook, and
blanket
all the
that
other
kept
shit
it
except
dark.
Instagram, because
So
I'm
it
never gonna find
supports
that.
the interpretation
Don't even have a
that
fucking
indeed
phone right
God
now.
had created these sun, moon, and stars at the beginning.
Anyways, guys, so
but
if
the
you
light was
enjoyed
not
Reggie,
through to
he's
the
gonna be in
surface
more
of the
videos with
waters
me.
because of this
Probably
dark
tonight.
cloud layer.
Tomorrow, we're probably
So
gonna
whereas
buttload on this shit,
Genesis
because
1
he's not coming back
implies
to
it,
Canada for
we
his
see
ass.
I can't stand the way you always